We talking sprint culture, we talking track and field. When the gunshot lick it, give a man the chills. We talking speed demons like Usain. The red track where a legend really makes their name. The US and Jamaica, they run the sprinting game. There's nothing like the Olympics for your claim to fame. When you break the world record, you show you ain't the same. From the men to the women, times are insane. Yeah, we talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture.
Yes. Big up. And welcome to a very impromptu live stream. Sprint Culture Live. After dark. I like to call it after dark because all the sprinters in Paris are sleeping. So the light is very green for us to speak freely right now. Yo, I admire the sprinters that are able to stay on social media during a championships like this because there's so much talk happening, yo. And a lot of the talk is bad. That would get in the way of focus, man. Yo, the people I see online freely, like they're just online like it's nothing. Yo, those are the ones you got to be afraid of, yo. Those are the scary ones, yo. They don't give a shit. So they're the ones you got to look out for. My guest was just here and left. Let me just holler at them again. Come back, man. I see you. The show is started. I'm talking to my viewers. So yeah, man. I rate the people that can stay online during that shit. Yeah, yo, hold on, yo, my guest, chill, yo. I see you. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up that fact that you guys have been pretty hard on the athletes, yo. I shouldn't say hard. You guys are speaking freely. I love the dialogue. A lot of talks happening. Even a lot of people I just see in the gym, like regular people, walk up to me, talking to me about the sprint doc, right? And they see me in it, and it's like a big deal. Like, yo, I see you in the doc, yada yada yada. And they'll talk to me about, yo, I can't stand Sha'Carri, yo, or yo, that Noah guy, he's all right, you know, he's a little bit weird, or whatever they say, yo. It's like everyone's talking about it like it's a real thing, yo. So track and field is on a high right now. Okay, so yeah. Social media has been rough. By the way, just so you guys know, Andre DeGrasse has been on social media. I've seen him frequently. Killer. This episode is brought to you by Rubik's. Life's a puzzle. Solve it. Also on the real though, Heartbreak.run. If you go to Heartbreak.run and you enter the discount code Sprint Culture, you will get 10% off of any merchandise that's bought. That includes the Super shoes. So it's a serious game right now. If you don't have the shoes, you're bound to lose. Okay, so the hundreds are starting tomorrow, the women, but the men are starting in a couple of days. And I'm doing last second predictions right now. I said that if you didn't make your predictions before tomorrow, they don't count. But the men do start on Saturday, so I guess there's one more night for them. But the women's stuff, I don't want to hear nothing else after today. All right. Now, I'm trying to get medalists and champions on here tonight, yo, because I'm trying to I want a sense really of how things are going on. Okay. So my first guest is, I think they know what they're talking about. And I think that has some really good insight as far as this 100 meters, yo. So let me just bring you to the stage real quick, yo. Where they at? The camera's not working. Yo, say something, boss. Your camera's black.
Can you hear me?
Big up the one named Ben Johnson.
Can you hear me?
Big up the one named Ben Johnson. Toronto.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Doc. What are you saying?
Can you hear me?
Doc, I can hear you, man. Can you hear me? You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
I can hear you, but I don't have a camera. I don't have a headset.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Yo. What are you saying? Where you at? You're training right now?
I'm in my car right now.
Okay. So look at. I got a question, yo. So after the race in Seoul that night, right? What was the party like? I know I didn't hear about what happened that night, like what the party was like, because obviously the biggest championship in the world, you win it. That night, everyone wants to know like what the fastest man in the world is going to do that night. So what happened that night?
What, that night after I win the gold medal?
Yeah.
Well, it was a great feeling, after so many years of tremendous working out and training and fatigue, and finally reached the goal of my life. Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Okay, but did you party that night though? You must have partied
No,
that
no,
night.
I didn't party. I went back to my room and just relax and take it inside, in stride, and accomplished, well done.
Oh, for real. That's not how I pictured it in my head. I pictured it in my head like champagne bottles, you know what I'm saying? Girl over here, go over there, spraying. It wasn't nothing like that. You were just
No,
chilling at home.
I have many times led to party and enjoy myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to Linford Christie about coming on. We're trying to figure out the times. He's in Paris right now. But I remember one time we were in Helsinki for World Championships. So I went to eat dinner with a few of my boys, right? So we're sitting and we're eating, and Linford sat at the same table as us, right? So you're just sitting there, and then this woman sprinter, I won't say her name right now, but she walked by, right? And when she walked by, all of us were watching her like she was like one of the ones, like we're watching her kind of hard, right? So Linford looked at us and he kind of laughed and he was like, "You want that?" And everyone was looking at each other like, yeah. And he was like, "Then win the 100 meters." Yo, it really is that simple though. Like, because everyone knows, all of us sprinters know, like once you get that spot, dog, like it's gonna be a lot of gal, right? So was it? Can you you gotta talk to us about this? No one really talks about this side of it, yo. Like, what's the influx of Oman like after, or when you're like winning worlds and setting world records and you're the fastest man in the world, yo?
Well, things have changed in my time and today now. Today now you have it's like a fashion show out there right now. So everybody wants to be important. Everybody wants to be somebody. In my days, things was different. We didn't have social media, and if I didn't have social media back then, I would have maybe about 5,000-6,000 followers and stuff like that. But nevertheless, um,
You'd have
so
more than that, dog. You probably be
probably
in the
more,
100,000s.
because
Yeah.
even this day, after 36 years old, 36 years now, people still love Ben Johnson, and people still understand what will happen and what's going on what will down. But still got a great admirers out there and great fans all over the world. So it's great to see these people still coming forward and show me some love and some support all these years. It's great. Can't complain.
I'm a big fan of yours, Ben. You know that, right?
I mean,
Ben, you know that. I'm
just
proud to
this
say it.
past last week, I saw Carl Lewis post something on Facebook that he win 9 gold medal, and I make a comment. I said that one of those 9 gold medals is one of Ben Johnson medal you'll get for me. So I try to look for it afterwards. I think he took it down.
That
Yeah.
was it. You really commented that?
Oh yeah. You know me. I don't give a
He
shit.
took the post out. He took the post out, or he took your comment down.
I think it put the post down. I didn't move my comment. My comment is real.
Yo, I had a discussion with Carl. We had a couple of interviews I had with him, right? I didn't air them because I don't know the relevance at the time. It just didn't make sense content wise. But anyways, I said to him, I was like, "Yo, like, do you feel like?" And I'll probably release this part of the clip. I was like, "Do you feel like you should kind of let go of this situation you got with Ben?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." Like he was like, I'm kind of past everything that happened, and yada yada yada. And yeah, if I saw Ben, I wouldn't not talk to him, and everything would be all right. Then, so this was early in the year, like around winter time, right? Then, probably like just before summertime hit, they had him on some interview on ESPN. I don't remember, it was some guy, something. Can't remember the guy's name. And they start talking, and he started going in about soul again, dog. I was like, yo, Reggie, this is basically what you're saying. Like, you ain't supposed to be talking about this shit no more. But it was Olympic time, I guess. So it was like, I don't know, people want to talk about it again, yeah. But he's still like from what he said to me, he was ready to be cool with you again. Like, I mean, are you
As
ready to
long
be
as
cool with
he,
him
as
again?
long as he live, as long as he live on his deathbed, he know that he get his ass kicked fair and square. He knows that. So he can talk all he wants to talk and say what to say. It doesn't mean nothing. He knows what the truth is. And him and I know that what is the real truth.
It was a phenomenal race. I can't tell you how much times I watched that race.
I call him Mr. Clean.
Why you call him that?
Mr. Clean, because he said he'd never take anything. So I call him Mr. Clean.
Well, this is the thing, man. You would have to be the ultimate scum of the earth to be able to point the finger at people when you know that you were doing the same thing. So
Yeah,
I want to have faith in Carl. I want to have faith in him. I don't feel like he's the scum of the earth, Ben. I don't think he's the scum of underneath my shoe. I feel like if he's talking like this, then obviously he wasn't taking nothing. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Correct. Yeah.
I'm just saying that. So look it. I know you don't really like watch the Olympics that much no more, right? But you did mention you're gonna watch this one, right?
Yes, I think I will probably watch it, the final, for the first time in many, many, many years. And
Okay.
if I don't catch it live, I catch it on CNN.
Right. You still, but when you see it, like, it's not like as soon as you see it, you turn the channel. Like, if you catch it, you'll watch it.
If I catch it, I watch it.
Right. But now you're probably like, you're gonna take this one in, right? Because I feel like, I'm saying, you kind of, you got your book out now, which we'll talk about in a second, and you want to, like, kind of get back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I talked to you about track a lot. You got some really good track knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You're a smart dude when it comes to, considering the coach you had, obviously you picked up a lot of knowledge as well, Charlie Francis. So you understand the sport. You got a lot of cool things to say. So you're about to make your way back.
Okay. Listen. Let's keep it real. Let's keep this Paris real. The final day comes to when everybody goes in the calling room. Everything's changed. Everybody be playing games, mind games. Everybody been watching each other put their spikes on. The fear is on, and anybody who control that fear in the calling room, going out on the track, they're gonna able to win the 100-meter final. Because once you get in the calling room, it's a different situation, completely different. It's like the old game style all over again. So this is the final. This is year or nay. This is what you do. The best training of the year. This second is what you're gonna prove to the world and to yourself that you're the best at that time.
Can you recall your temperament in call rooms?
Me, number one, I have no fear. Number two, I can't be intimidated. That's number one. That's number two. And I was relaxed. I was totally relaxed because nobody can move that fast off the line. Nobody can move acceleration that fast and top speed. So I was confident. And once you have the confidence, then that you're gonna win, nobody can run that fast. Sky's the limit.
So in the book you mentioned in Seoul, you were like, you walked in and said, who's getting the silver medal? Did you really say that, or was that just for the book?
I come in the calling room I was the last one to get in. I saw everybody was checking out the spikes, the measurement. Everybody was sitting down on the bench, open, putting their shoes on. And I came in and I said, "Who's going to finish second?" And then Linford looked at me like he wanted to kill me. I'm not sure if you remember that, but this is what happened. I remember that. Carlos looked at me, Dennis Mitchell looked at me, and everybody just looked at me like staring at me and said, "What the hell is talking about?"
For real. But did anybody say anything back, or were they just looking at you like?
Nobody can say anything to me. Hey, I just finished bench 475 pounds. Who's gonna mess with me? I don't care. Linford Christie was strong. He was big, but I don't fear nobody.
Yeah. So you own the space in there, huh?
Yeah, I just benching 475 pounds 4 days ago.
So you knew your power was like.
The power was there.
It was
The endurance was there. The peaking time was there. Everything was working at the same time.
Hey, look it. I remember we were having a conversation about your start, right? And mind you, when I first started running, I tried to start like you. I was training with Charlie, obviously. I was trying to start like you. And Charlie would like pull me aside and he was like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I see Ben do it on tape all the time. Like, I'm just trying to. And he's like, "Stop doing that." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You're not strong enough, so stop doing that." And I stopped doing it. But I used to like how it looked. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do yeah. I'm like, yeah. So anyways, I was saying to you, you were saying to me, I would never guess what muscle you were using when you're coming out the blocks like that. Now I think I know what it is. There's a muscle. You said there's a muscle you work on to make sure you come out the blocks like that. Do you remember we were having this conversation? Maybe you don't, but we had this conversation.
I remember the conversation, but wait, why you want to let my secret out, man?
Oh, okay. We'll talk about offline. Okay, wait. I'm saying if you say it, you say it. But at the end of the day, that's why I prefaced with that story. People aren't going to be able to duplicate that, yo. You got to be ridiculously powerful.
Anybody wants to let the secret out, they have to pay for it.
Not big bucks.
And listen, all these guys are running today. Yes, they're strong. They're very strong, but not just as me. Not as strong as me.
No.
And they're still running 977 shutting down.
Oh, you're talking about Keisha.
But let's speak it real. The world record now should be at least 9394. Based on the technology what these guys are running on. Come on. And nobody going, yeah, the world record is 95. Come on. Be serious.
What can you run in some super shoes?
If anybody can run 94, 93, I can run faster than that. Because there's no one stronger than me, faster than me, off the line, in the middle, or the end. Nobody. You can't beat somebody who invented this stuff. I'm the game changer. I'm the game changer. I'm the blueprint of track and field today. I know that the World Athletics doesn't like Ben Johnson, IRC doesn't like Ben Johnson, and other sprinters who know about my history and my past doesn't like me. But anybody who pointing finger at me, they're also pointing finger at themselves because all of us are in the same boat. But keep it real again. They know that the training, what everybody's doing, the coaches are doing, they're copying Ben Johnson program. They know that. They know that. I know that. And they want to let the world know that they think that they're the one who make these things possible. No, it's Ben Johnson.
Yeah. No, obviously you knew the sport
because well if this was the point, and if this was so, then people should run in 96, 97, 98, 36 years ago.
Right. So watch this. With the shoe technology and the track technology, and like I don't know what other technology they got. They said this Paris track they made super fast, like faster than Tokyo. I don't know what they do to it. So if they're on these fast tracks, put that in Seoul. What is that? What is that time looking like?
Well, if I didn't slow down at 90 meters out,
and with some super shoes,
with the super shoes. Okay, listen. If I'd run from 0 to 100 in Seoul, I'd run 971, 969, somewhere around that area.
Right.
And then with the new shoes and new track, You're talking 2/10 faster. So you're talking at least 9:48.
Right.
9:48 at least.
No, I definitely believe that. I definitely, for Mans to be running like that fast in them days, even the Mans were running 9 seconds back then. Them Mans were fast, with zero technology, because your
But
spikes,
I was
your spikes
I
were like
was
clocks.
after Soul, when I'm relaxing in my room, it came to my mind that I could run 9:48 when I have the next chances to do so. But I didn't get me the next chance. I didn't get the next chance.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
your spikes, they weren't like firm.
My spikes that I have that I run in, I could bend it and put it in my pocket. That is the difference today and the spikes then. So you tell me. So every time I make contact on the ground, the spikes will spread. It will expand. There's no
Right.
giving back. Running that
Right.
fast. So now
Right.
you have carbon fiber plate. They're building the spikes. So when you're running, you're pushing forward. You're always pushing forward. So you give the sprinter extra edge.
Serious. I hear that. Well, let's get back to
When you're
this
running 969 or 971, 972 on an old technology, you are running.
Well, no, absolutely, dog. Yeah, 100%.
You are
100%.
running, man.
Yo, before we go on, I just want to mention,
And if you speak the best expert on this subject, they will tell you Ben will come on top, beat everybody. Base
I'm an expert.
what they have, based on what I have, based on technology, based on everything else, I will come on top.
Right. 100%. I already know, dog, but look before we go on, I just want to mention the book, you know what I'm saying? World's Fastest Man with asterisk. You put an asterisk on it. Whose idea was that?
The Incredible Life of Ben Johnson, World's Fastest Man. Amazon, Indigo, chapters. Can pick it up. It's a great book. It's a great read to show the light of the aftermath, what happened to Ben Johnson and the scandal, and the truth behind it. That I was lynched, or I was ambushed by the system, by the my federation, by the government of Canada, and a handful of people who doesn't like me, but it doesn't matter.
But this is all in the book. Look, Ben,
that's all in the book.
This is all in the book. You've been doing a book tour, which is good. I've been seeing you on a bunch of shows and getting people.
You see
people
the
like
technique. Nobody will like that. That picture taken around, say, 65, 70 meters in a race from the angle of that book, a top flight.
Right. I'm gonna need you to sign this, by the way. I'm gonna need your autograph. Yeah. Ben, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm gonna need this.
I have it signed for you.
It's signed. Appreciate that. Okay. Look at man. Let's get into what's about to happen in Paris. So I'm sure you're aware of the main guys that are gonna. But I just push. You hear me still?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of the main guys that are going to be running at this championships. It's going to be tight. There's like 10 guys within the range of like 9.8. A couple guys touched 9.7, but a few guys have touched 9.7 in the past, right? So there's some 9.7 capable guys and some 9.8 mid and low guys, right? About 10. Most competitive in history, I think.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how much fast they run. This is the time they have to shine. So every day is a new day. Right. And every day is not everybody going to be 100% mentally, physically, emotionally ready. But you have to be ready on this day. This is what you train for all year, all season. You are professional runner, not amateur or whatever you want to call yourself. But this is where you put yourself on the line to come up big when it counts, not later or a week later or a week before. This is you have to hit this mark right on the button.
What do you think of Noah Lyles as a character?
Noah Lyles, I don't like his attitude. It's a kid can't control his emotion, his ego. He talks too much.
You don't like when people talk to you.
And these kind of people has to be humble. And the only way you can humble these kind of people is to beat them at their best.
Right.
That mean you have him emotionally, mentally, physically, mess him up real bad.
So he needs a humbling. You need
a humbling.
Okay. So that being said, do you think he's going to get humbled? Because let's be honest, he's been very confident. He wins a lot. He's always beaten up. He's beaten up on everybody, dog. So it's kind of his thing right now. So is someone going to humble him in Paris?
I think he's gonna have problems in 100 meters because even though he gets strong over the last 2 years in 100 meters, by the time that his run is not fast enough to come in. I think because he's always trying to run from behind, coming to the last 45 meters in. You're not gonna come in the last 45 meters in when these guys are already running 977, 978. You can't run that fast from behind, even say 1.5 meters. You can't do that.
Right.
So if he doesn't get out of the blocks with the rest of the field, he's gonna have problems.
Okay. Do you have 3 names for me as far as 3 medalists?
I got 3 names for you.
Okay.
I don't watch too much track and field. I don't know the names of these people running now. I just heard about it on social media or on YouTube, or I saw some highlights of these new sprinters coming up and running fast and blah blah. But I'm not like you where I sit down and watch these people running week after week, months after year, and everything like that. So with me out of it looking in, I'm just gonna say I'm picking Jacob from Italy to win. I'm picking the Nigerian or this guy or the kid from South Africa. To come in second.
Akani Simbini, you got to come second. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm speaking guy from Togo.
No, you can't just talk about from Botswana, Tobago.
Botswana, yeah, Botswana.
Let's see.
Like Tobago. I said, I don't really familiar where these kids are from. I'm just kind of new in the business as far as this new generation. So you have to excuse my ignorancy and everything like that.
No,
but
that's fine.
I don't see the Jamaican kid. Yes, he's fast, but let's see if he comes up big under pressure. He doesn't have the experience, and these kids run fast when they relax. When they're under pressure, they tighten up. They lost focus. They don't have it. But so, it's who can angle the fear of coming into the calling room, going on the track, because once you start having fear, the energy is going out the door right so fast, and then the body started breaking down. You have to keep it real, keep it the same energy from the night before, go into the final day of track and field in the sprints, and keep that energy intact. Once the energy start leaving you, you're finished.
Right. Yo, I haven't heard those 3 picks. Those are the 3. That's a unique 3 picks. Everyone feels like Keishane is going to take it. I was on live the other day and I was saying, look, I don't know how he can compete in championships. I don't understand how people are just jumping on right now like, yo, he's going to win. And so obviously you're seeing what I'm saying as far as him not even being in the championships before. That's a factor, right? If you've never been in championships before, to go and win the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you definitely don't have him on the podium. I'd say about 90% of the people I talk to have him on the podium. I didn't have him on the podium either. I don't have him on the podium either. I like him though. I like him as a sprinter. I need to see him perform. So Simbini is an interesting pick because he's gotten fourth a bunch of times. So with you not watching so much and picking Simbini and picking Tobogo, who are very, very strong sprinters, what is it about them that you saw where you're like, nah, we'll go with these kids?
I saw this kid is very tall. He's got big strides, and he has to use his advantage much as possible. I'm sure that his staff, his coaches, and his trainers is make sure that he's get that velocity and flexibility to cover more ground. So these other sprinters have to work much harder to get him. So if he can use that of the advantage, his reach, his height, then he's gonna have lots of give them these other sprinters a lot more problems. And he has to use that as his weapon as much as he can. If he doesn't use it, then he's gonna be in trouble. Again.
Well, his I mean the I told you this when we're talking about the book. I haven't gotten through the whole book yet. I told you that already. I'm about halfway through, but I'm interested in the part about your mom, right? So Tobogo, he lost his mom like a couple months ago, right? So what kind of effect could that potentially have on someone going into an Olympics? Could you imagine being in that position? Like if you're going into an Olympics?
Well, this is where he has to come up big. The mother is not in the flesh, but is with him in the spirit. He has to come up big and give this race for his mother. It can be, this type of thing can be a great advantage of somebody who's very strong mentally, emotionally, or it can be a disadvantage. It's how he's gonna control it and take it out and win this race for his mother. And if he do that, then he will give that extra boost.
Yeah. Well, I think that people that grow up on that side of the world grow up different, because I remember he came on live with me a couple of times, right? And the last time he came on live with me, he just finished running 19 something somewhere. He's well known in Europe. He's one of them guys. And when he came back, where he was talking to me from, it was pitch black dark, yo. And it was like he had some, I think he was feeding some animals or something, feeding some goats or something. Like the goats were walking by and he was kind of like whipping them and like tending to them. Like it's a different way of life. It's not like a westernized type of living. Like they live in like different type of lifestyle over there, right? So do you think that kind of plays into how they handle tough situations or adversity, being from places that aren't like, not like America or like Canada where things are like well off? Do you think that has a benefit?
Well, everybody live different place in different environment, and the way they're upbringing and what they achieve and how they achieve it. Times are hard over there. It's Africa, but at the same time, they live that lifestyle from since they were young into teenagers, into adults. So they adapt very, very much easily and very much in hardship, and knowingly where he came from to reach on this time of his life to win the gold medal. And he has to come up big. Yes, he's lost his mother a few months ago, and then he has to win the race for his mother. Like I said, he can use it as an advantage, or it could be as a disadvantage. It depends on how strong his mind is. If his mind is very weak, he's gonna have problems. And if he can come up big and shine, then that's good for him.
Well, just so you know, I made my podium picks the other day, and Marcel was on my podium too. I didn't say the order, but he's on my podium, and people were laughing at me. And now in the comments, I'm looking at the comments. They don't think the Marcel Jacobs pick is good either. So I took the heat for it too. But I had Andre on my podium. What do you think of Andre? What do you think of Andre DeGrasse?
Me, I think he's just an ordinary sprinter. He's just hot and cold. And like, to me, I'm not too crazy about him, so to speak.
Okay.
So for him to win the 100 meters or the 200 meters, he has to run a personal best, and it's not going to be very easy.
Right.
And if he doesn't get a good start out of the blocks, he's not going to be in the top 3.
But you do know he's a championship performer. Like,
Like I said, it doesn't matter. These sprinters are hot and cold. They doesn't know when they're going to shine or when you expect that. There's no consistency in these guys' performance.
It's a fellow Canadian, Ben. Come on.
Eh?
It's a fellow Canadian. Come on.
Fellow Canadian?
Back me up here.
I can't back you up on that.
Watch this. He ran a windy 974. He's run that.
Well, 974 is 974, but it's not legal.
A windy 969. A windy 969.
It doesn't matter again. It doesn't matter. When Carl Lewis run 978 and I run 979 legal, that's a difference, man. If I was in that race when Carl Lewis run 978, I run about 94. With a 4.5 meter wind, that's a hurricane. So this is what I'm saying. I'm a tough customer. I'm tough. All right?
Yeah.
And when somebody run 974 wind nated, yeah, okay, you run 974, but it's not legal.
Right.
So yes, it might give him an edge that he run 974, but it doesn't matter again, because this is where the mental comes in, the conscious mind comes in and say, oh, I run 974, so I'm not really ready. The wind helps me. So you have to dig deep in your memory bank and say, oh, the shit, what I have to do to win? There's no win now. If the win, they're going to be 0.14 head win or 0.8 win, something like that. So you have to ask yourself this question. I'm ready or I'm not ready.
Right. Okay. I was about to say, I would love to get you and Carl on at the same time. How do you feel about that?
I don't care.
Oh, I was kind of playing around. You be cool with that? You be all right with that?
I'm cool with that. If he comes on, anybody, Linford Christie or the young sprinters comes on, I can angle my ground.
Okay, so you're saying if I can get Carl on here,
Ben Johnson can angle himself. I don't need anybody to angle myself. I can angle myself.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, well, I'm gonna try and arrange that, man.
Because we all know who the best sprinter is.
I'm sure you guys, it wouldn't be a bad discussion about that. I'm sure it would be a great, productive discussion as far as that's concerned. I think we should try.
If Carlos wants to still be famous and still be recognized, then it should come on.
Yo, he's been getting a bit of attention because he's got a guy that's running the 100. He won NCAA championships. He's a guy. He's from out here actually. So he's getting a little bit of something. But I obviously the conversation with you and him is gonna definitely. I'll arrange that. Oh, you know what? Also, I might be talking to Donovan Bailey later on tonight. How would you feel about being on at the same time as Donovan? You okay with that too? Not tonight.
I'm okay with that too.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, but I'm okay with that too.
Okay.
You know me already. I got no fear, man.
Yeah.
I got no fear. Off the track or on the track, I got no fear. Ben Johnson can be intimidated. No which way or form. I'm the real GOAT.
I hear you.
The great Ben Johnson.
I hear you. Yeah, I don't usually do this, but I'll be straight, yo. Look, you were like a big reason why I started running track, yo. So when everyone turned their back on you, I never did, yo. I never did. Everyone turned their back on you. Yo, I understand shit happened, whatever, dog. It
doesn't matter who turning back on me and who doesn't. It doesn't really matter. But we all know what the rule cheat. We all know what the world cheat is. We all know about that. We all know everybody is doing what they have to do to win. We all know that. And everybody is saying this, saying that, oh, I never do this. No, I never do that. Okay. Who are you talking to? You're talking to Ben Johnson here. Okay? So don't try to kill yourself.
You know what, Ben? While you're on here, I want to make a confession. Okay, I want to make a confession while you're here. Okay, there was a time. Okay, I took some cough medicine and didn't read the instructions. I didn't read the ingredients. I took it without reading the ingredients, and they didn't test me, dog. So I kind of skated on that one, yo. I'm saying that out there with you, dog.
Yeah,
I
well,
gotta
you're
wait.
lucky.
Put it out there, man. Putting it out there. Okay, look.
Yeah, well, you don't have to talk about it. It's okay.
Yo, after the championships, I want to revisit because we can talk about what happened and whatever. Because you said you're going to watch this one. I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad you're kind of getting back in the sport. I know you're coaching now, so the book is out. You're coaching. You're on live with me. You know what I'm saying? You're going to come back again, obviously, and I'm glad seeing you back in the mix. So you got a lot of really good track and field insight, yo. So I can't wait to get you on to talk about some more track. So after the 100, we'll circle back and try and get some more time on. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Big up to one named Ben Johnson.
Big up.
I respect that. We'll catch up, yo.
Bye.
All right, folks. I think that was a good conversation, man. Ben had a lot of interesting things to say. I'm gonna see if I can get my next guest on tonight. I'm trying to see any randoms I can get in here just to talk about this 100 tomorrow, man. But let me see. Just got off with my first guest. You around? Yo, for those who haven't even thought about it or know about it, right now, Ben Johnson has a book. Donovan Bailey has a book. Andre DeGrasse has a book. I want to get I want to get all of them on to talk about the book at some point. I've been meaning to get Donovan to come on and talk about his book. It's interesting. Like, we obviously know that a lot of these guys don't have a good relationship with each other, but I communicate with them just because, I mean, it's the sport. So there are people that are, pick up the one name. Jason, were you in here for the Ben talk, yo? Write in the comments. But I communicate with, like, because it's a sport, I got to be able to communicate with them and get them to communicate, and some of these big names you want to hear from. Ideally you want to be able to hear from the bigger names in the sport. Like, to be honest, like, I did the sport, but I wasn't at them levels, yo. Like, I was at a high level. I was at the Olympics. I was at the World Championships. I was on the circuit, but I wasn't like what Ben was doing and what some of the guys you see doing now, like in the 9.7, 9.8 range. Like, this is just a different experience. But I was there. So what I like to do is get those guys to speak because they have a perspective that no one does. You see in NBA basketball, like, you'll see the Charles Barkleys, you'll see the Shaquille O'Neals, you'll see even the Vince Carters, who didn't have a championship, but I mean, he's one of, like, the good guys. Like, you see, like, some of these bigger names talking, right? So we had to hear from them guys a bit more, yo. Trying to see if we'll see if the next guest comes in at some point. But there's still a few things I want to talk about while I'm on here. Hold on a second. That's okay. We watch Ben's interview. Very average. You guys are very disrespectful. In reality, let's be real, yo. Anybody you meet that has run like 10-1, even 10-3, they're doing some things with their body that you don't even understand. Now, you get under 10-1, go to 10-0, go to 9-9, go to 9-8, 9-7. This shit is like, these men are doing some serious things, yo. So this regular people have no business talking about anybody under 10-3. But at the same time, like anyone who's running around that range has to understand that you're not a blue blood, yo. It's a different world, yo. You understand the game. You've been through the path. You obviously had to compete at a high level if you went to an Olympics or were in the NCAA or an All-American or like you got some medals. I'm just naming off some of the stuff that I did. Obviously at a very, very high level. But some of them man are just doing them legends are doing some different things, yo. Oh, I want to hear from them sometimes. So, but the chat was pretty respectful while Ben was in here. I appreciate that because Ben's a good dude, yo. You just, shit happens. And I don't think if you read the book, you'll understand that the landscape back then was just different. It was different, yo. And I don't think people take that into account when addressing that whole situation because everybody seems to want to be up on their high horses, yo. So anyways, yo, we'll talk a little bit of shit while I'm waiting around to see if this other guest comes. If not, then you know what I'm saying. Just call it a night and get ready for them hundreds. I'm not taking back my 100-meter picks. You know what I'm saying? What them guys let me skate from though, I didn't get to say my order of my picks for the 100. I just said the names of the medalists. But the women, look at. We had our prediction show the other day. I had Justin Gatlin on here. I had Warren Weir on here. And they all had Sharika on both podiums. I said Sharika wasn't going to get on the podium in the 100 because of the fact that she pulled up. I'm like she's obviously not healthy. She's going into a games off of injury. How is she going to get on the podium? As you see the other day, she ain't even running the 100 no more. So my women's 100 picks stay the same. I got Sha'Carri winning. I got Shelly coming in second. And the bronze medalist I had was Julian Alfred. So, yo, Leverage King, are you still in here? What side are you talking about, yo? What did I say after, yo? So anyways, I put this video out earlier today called The Only Way to Beat Noah in the 200. I think it's fair to say that which book, Anthony, you talking about? Speed Trap or the new one with Mary Ormsby? The new one with Mary Ormsby. Speed Trap isn't Ben's book. That's Charlie Francis's book. Yeah. So, before I go into my next point, I'll show this again. I read Donovan's book. Well, Donovan's book is audio book. So I listened to Donovan's book. Donovan's book is really good. Donovan, I feel like I'm really liking Ben's book thus far. Donovan's book, what I liked about his book is that it was an audio book and it was done in his voice. So he's actually reading. So it's his voice telling his story. I thought that was kind of cool. I think that the writing in Ben's book is excellent. So Mary Ormsby, she wrote the book. She's a great writer, and I think that she was very thorough. So that's what I like about that book. As far as Donovan's book, I could tell that Donovan had a lot to do with what was being written. And I could talk to him about that. I would love to talk to him about that. But it was very Donovan. And the fact that it's his voice is like, obviously, adds to that. Okay, so as I was saying, I put a video out today called The Only Way to Beat Noah in the 200 meters. And you can go on YouTube and check out that video. There's a small clip of it on my Instagram. Anson_Henry, Unconventional Productions Limited on Unconventional Productions on YouTube. And you can see the full video. But I was basically saying that if you're going to beat Noah in this 200, you can't double because he's doubling too good. If you're doubling, he's doubling. You're not going to beat him. He's doubling very well. That includes everybody. So I named off the people, Lecile, Andre, Kenny. I was like, look, you can give it a shot in the double to try and beat him. Cool. You're taking a shot at 2 medals. Totally get that. But all those guys, if they didn't do the 100, I feel like they would win the 2. Or at least beat Noah in the 2. But I want Andre to win the 100 because he's defending bronze medalist. And, he can get a gold medal. Why not go for the 100-meter gold? How are you not going to go after the 100-meter gold, yo? It's tough. And he's already got a medal. I get that. Letsile is coming off a silver medal last year. So obviously he's going to want to run 100. I don't think he should, but he's going to want to run 100. But Kenny doesn't have any hardware. So in my opinion, you proved how fast you were at USA's. Cool, man. Like, you made the US team. Like, we know that you're really, really fast. But to go and double against Noah, Gretchen, just chill out in 100 and go and get that 200-meter gold. Because, I'm cool with people proving me wrong. That's what I love about the game. People had a chance to prove me wrong if they want to. I just don't think that Kenny's going to get in the podium in 100. And funny enough, and let me know in the chat what y'all think about this. I think if Christian was going to the championships, he would have a better shot than Kenny at getting on the podium. I just do, because he's a prior champion. He had a really bad race in that final at USA's. He's run 9.7. He's a championship performer. He's world indoor champion a few times. Got the world indoor 60-meter world record. He's run 9.7 a few times. I'm thinking that at championships, like, he would put forth a good showing. Kenny, I've never seen him run in 100 before in a championships, so this is all new for me. I can't say Kenny's gonna run amazing because I haven't seen it. You guys know my MO. I very rarely choose people that I haven't seen perform in championships. The only time I ever did it was in 2021. I chose Marcel to get the bronze. I chose him to get the bronze, which was, people thought it was a wild pick, but I chose him to get the bronze because no one knew who he was. He ended up winning. I didn't know he was going to win. God damn it. But I thought I had to get a bronze. That's the only time I ever picked someone who's not a championship performer. Usually I go with championship performers in that event. Kenny has never run the Open 100 at a championship before. It's very, very, very tough to put him on the podium. But I would put Christian on there. I potentially put Christian on there. So it's like this. You take a shot at the double. As far as if you can take a shot at the double, maybe you get a medal, maybe you don't, but you run both. And Christian just sits around and waits for the 4x1. Or you chill in the 100. Christian gets to run. It's a medal threat. And then you go and get that gold in the deuce. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. And then you're even fresh to run that 4x1 if you want to. And listen, Americans, a lot of y'all talking shit to me about that relay. You need to chill because you got 2 people that are going for that double. So Noah and Kenny are on your 4x1, and Noah and Kenny are doing the 3 rounds of the 100, 3 rounds of the 200, and then come in and try and fuck with Canada and a bunch of other fast teams in that 4x1 the next day. It's going to be virtually impossible for the U.S. to win if they use those legs. Really think about this, people. Really think about this. You have 2 guys that are going to have 6 races in their legs before they even get to the 4x1. Because more than likely, both of them are going to get to the final. Kenny might not, but he may. But if Kenny doesn't, it works out better for you guys 4x1. If Kenny makes that final on the 100, your guys 4x1 is fucked. You won't win. You won't win. In my opinion, you will not win. So, like I said, to me, even just the best Team USA decision would be, look, Kenny, let's give Christian your 100-meter spot. You chill. Christian runs the 100, and he could chill while you go run the 200. And then both of y'all can come back with some pretty fresh legs for the 4x1. Because now you got Christian, another thing, you got Christian who's just been sitting around the entire championships, just going into a 4x1. A lot of people do that. I get that. But as far as him, I think he's the type of person that's shown well in the 4x1 leadoff leg because he usually had ran the 100 earlier in the championships. So he got in flow. He's got his mojo. It's because he got his mojo, he can go in that first leg and keep showing what he's doing. Maybe even run even faster because he's opened himself up because he's ran. You put a cold legs Christian in that 4x1, and you put heavy legs Noah and Kenny who run all the rounds of the 100 and all the rounds of the 200, and then Fred's the other leg who had just ran the 100. So Fred will be fresh. It's a tall ask, man. Tall ask. I just feel like everybody's happy. Everyone's happy if we let it pan out that way, man. But E Diamonds, you see what I'm saying though? E Diamonds, tell me something. E Diamonds, do you have Kenny on your podium in the 100? Tell me if you have Kenny on your podium in the 100. Because look it, there's a lot of killers in the 100 this year. A bunch of medalists, a bunch of world champions. You got an Olympic champion, an Olympic medalists, all running 9.8, 9.7. Yo, Kenny getting in his first 100 meters and getting a medal, that would be amazing, man. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying that would be amazing. I would be amazed. That would be extremely impressive, yo. So if Kenny does that, yo, big him up, yo. If he goes and beats Noah in both races, big him up. If he even podiums in both races, big him up. But it's not something I would have predicted. It's not something I would have predicted. You know what I'm saying? Yo, did you guys I think I should share something with you guys. Do you guys know that I've developed a ranking system? Yeah, I've developed a ranking system. It's called the FITW ranking system. It's basically FITW because it's the first year I'm trying this ranking system. So FITW is the fastest man in the world, or fastest in the world. So fastest in the world, FITW. I only sampled it on the men this year because I was trying to get the formula down. I'm pretty confident in the formula now. I think I can share this with you guys. Hold on a second. Let's see here. No, we don't want the MVD. We want the... There we go. Share. Okay. Are you guys seeing that? Why is it taking up the entire... Share. I'm ready to take up the whole screen. I still want to be in the picture, god damn it. Oh, I wasn't in the picture. Okay. Hold on, let me do that again. Window. Okay, let's tidy this up a little bit. Okay. So it's over here. Okay, so look at guys. What I've basically done is I've used a formula to come up with the average of people's best 3 performances for the season. Now it's only in Diamond League races and Continental Tour Gold races. Okay, so it has to be in those races. From the performance, there's usually in World Athletics rankings or IAAF rankings, there's a performance score depending on the time you run. Now, my in my hold on a second, let me put myself back on the screen so I'm not just small like this right now. My in my ranking system, the wind comes into account, whether it's a tailwind or a headwind. If you win, comes into account, because winning, I mean, there's extra points for winning. And also, what's the other thing? Oh, and top speed. The top speed you touch in the race plays into the equation as well. So top speed comes into play, winning comes into play, and the wind comes into play. If you had a headwind, there's some extra points. If you had a tailwind, you actually lose some points. So that all comes into play with how the equation works out. Okay. Your top 3 performances, the average of that gives you your FITW ranking score. Okay. Because, oh, that's a good point. All in the game says 3 races, too small of a sample. Understood. But the thing is, a lot of people don't even run on the circuit or on the Continental Tour Gold more than 3 times. Like 3 times is sometimes the minimum. And I'm counting the Olympic final as well. I'm going to count the Olympic final as well. But yeah, even like, okay, for instance, as far as the Diamond League and Continental Tour Gold, Noah only has 1 race right now. Keishane only has 1 race right now. Kenny Benerick only has 1 race right now. Yeah, and people who wouldn't even have 3 races yet. Who Christian Coleman only has 2 races. Fred Curley only has 2 races. Yeah, some of the bigger names that have people have 3 races or more that have the strongest averages. According to the rankings that I have right now, let me put this back on the screen. No, let's do this one. Okay. Akani Zimbini is ranked number 1 as far as average. Letsili Taboko is ranked number 2. And Ferdinando Manyala is ranked number 3. So that's taking all that other stuff into account. Like, it's not just what your score was off of that time. The time changes and the score changes depending on the win that you dealt with and all that stuff. We average the top 3, and those are the top 3 guys. As you can see, Marcel Jacobs has 3 races as well. He's in 5th. Emmanuel Esame, he's had some pretty strong performances. A lot of people are sleeping on him. He's pretty consistent on the circuit. He actually won a couple races. And then there's a few, and Andre DeGrasse, you can see he's in 6th place. So there's some big names that have completed their 3 races, but not the big names. So if I go to, let me do this real quick. Let me get myself back on the screen. If I go to the best performances. Oops. I go to the performances. Nah, man, we don't want that. What are you doing? Put in alphabetical order. Are you crazy? One second, folks. Okay. Now, what did I just do? Just ruin my whole table. Okay. In my house. Okay, guys, one second. This is important. I don't mess this up. Give me Vex. Okay, now, as far as the best performances, right? So Noah only has one race. Keishane only has one race. And Kenny only has one race. Performance-wise, Noah has the best performance based off of his time at the London Diamond League. So that 981 into the headwind gave him the highest performance score, so over 1,400, which is huge. If he gets another couple races, his average is going to be above everyone else. So we're expecting him to get one more with the Olympics. And then after the Olympics, he'll probably run another 100. I'm assuming he will. Keishane Thompson, his 977 or all of his times in Jamaica don't count because they're not on Diamond League and they're not Continental Tour Gold. I think it's important to direct people into direct them into competing against each other under one umbrella, not just competing here and there. Like, you got to come to one place and compete. So that's why the rankings only, the scores only come from Diamond League and Continental Tour Gold. I think that's what you got to do, is direct people into one place, because you got to race. You got to race to be ranked. I think that's important. If you want to get up on the rankings, you got to do that. So Noah, like I said, he's on top of the list. Keishane, as far as like performance score, Keishane with his 991 into a headwind in Hungary, that has him with the second best score. And even though Akani's ran loads of races this year, even with his best performance score, he's ranked in the top 3. As a matter of fact, one of his performance in London, as I'm looking right now, would actually have been, if we're just picking the best scores, I'm just going off of his averages. His average still has him in 3rd place, but his actual performance in London would put him above Keishane. So, yeah, man, that's basically what I got going on as far as that's concerned. There's a lot more that comes into play, and I think those numbers make sense. If we're looking at it, Noah did have the best performance in my opinion. Now the 977, if I did the calculation for that, I will do that calculation one day just to do it, just to have it, just so I know how good that score would have been. But it's not eligible anyways. So 49, it says limiting to Continental Tour Gold is silly. What are you talking about? It's the Diamond League too. Come on, man. And it gets way too complicated when you're using like silver and bronze races, and then local meets that people are running. Like, it's like, we know at Continental Tour Gold and Diamond League, all the timing systems are going to be on point, more than likely. All the records are more than likely going to be ratified. Like, there's no variables that aren't similar. It's in one place where it's kind of similar, so we can go off of that stuff. We're just picking races from all over the place. It's like, shit gets too confusing, man. It's too all over the place. So, yeah, man. Yo, E-Diamonds, I do get the sport. Yo, I'm like a track nerd, yo. I made a ranking system. So we'll come back to that every so often once the season goes on after the Olympics. So maybe some changes, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the bigger names still need to get 3 races. Okay, I don't know if my next guest is showing up, man. So let me message him one more time. Yo, where are you at? You coming? Yo, I like what Ben was saying about the call room, man. Hey, yo, what do y'all think about what do y'all? I'll E-Diamonds. If he doesn't show up, I'll tell you who it was supposed to be. What do y'all think about that clip that's circulating of Keishane hailing up Noah's girl but not saying nothing to him? Do you guys think it's that big of a deal? I saw the clip and I was like, okay, what? He didn't say nothing to him. All right. Like, I didn't even look at it like Keishane dissed him. Noah wasn't even looking at him. So what? Can you guys make it clear to me what the big deal about that was? Like, whoa, they're not talking. Okay. I don't get it. I understand we want a rivalry, and I'm big on rivalries, right? Sometimes I feel like it's being a bit forced. Like, even let's go back to even when Noah said, let's hope he doesn't get injured. What? I don't like a lot of people. Like, at first when I heard it, I was kind of like, well, that's an interesting remark. Just because I feel like sometimes he just says some stuff that doesn't always may not be interpreted properly, because he just says things in weird ways. And it was weird timing to say, well, hope he doesn't get injured. Okay, I get that. At first I was kind of like, dang, why he say that? Well, I really thought about it. It's like, yo, why are we saying that that's a big of a deal? What he said, he hopes he doesn't get injured. Keyshawn gets injured all the time. A lot of people don't even realize Keyshawn was running last year, but they were trying to keep him healthy. So it's not that crazy for anybody to say that. Let's hope he doesn't get injured. Oh, hope he doesn't get injured, because he wants to race him. I know. When he did the interview with Colin, he kind of messed his words up and said, I hope he gets injured." We all know he didn't say, "I hope he gets injured." Why are we running with that? It's like, I like for shit to kind of be dramatic, but it's got to be real. Like, let's not make it something silly. He didn't say, "I want Shane to be injured." Let's not be ridiculous. He didn't say that. Now, if he's saying, the repechage, I want to talk about the repechage, Malik. I'll talk about that in a second. Spike Killmonger, you think that's what he said? Unfortunately, I can't repeat that. But yeah, I don't think Noah called, was really. He said, "I hope he doesn't get injured." Everyone knows. At least everyone who knows who Keyshawn Thompson is, he gets injured a lot. Last year he was injured. That's what he ran. He ran 9 seconds in the heats at the trials. Didn't run the finals. Kind of ran here and there on the circuit, but they're trying to keep him healthy. He's tough to keep healthy. I hope he can stay healthy. Big deal. Another thing. Okay, if we're being really real, okay, and I'll talk on behalf of the majority of sprinters in the world, okay? This is just what it is, okay? I'm going to be extremely real right now, okay? Every sprinter knows that when you're going into competitions, and then the higher the stakes are, the bigger the races are, if you hear a man gets injured, you're more than likely going to be like, shit, one less person I got to worry about. Everybody knows that. Every sprinter knows that. And if you've talked to someone, they're going to be rude with you. That's the exact same thing they're going to say. That's cool with me. I ain't got to worry about this cat no more. And it's not even talked about no more. They disappeared off the face of the earth. They don't even think about them no more. Sprinters don't care about other sprinters getting injured. You don't want to wish it on people. And I don't think Noah was wishing it on him. But I think if Keyshawn got injured, he'd be like, thank goodness, yo. Because every sprinter would be like that. Every sprinter thinks like that. That's the way it is. And the reality is, look, I want to ask my guest what they think about that. Oh shoot. I want to ask my guests what they think about that.
Pick up the one named Donovan Bailey. Donovan Bailey.
What's up with you, dude? The hell is this thing? How does this thing work? Okay, here we go.
I see you sitting at the pool, you know what I'm saying, flossing the pool. That chair looks comfortable. You got the champ up on the screen. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing, dog.
Always,
time,
dude.
dog.
Always. How you doing, man?
You must got a lot of stuff going on, man. We ain't talking in a really long time.
I got a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I got a ton of things. Yeah.
So
what's up?
I'm chilling, yo. So you're doing some broadcasting during the games, huh?
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Listen. Okay. There you go. Get out of here. Should we come get him?
Who's there, son?
Youth, man. It's a youth boy, man.
Yo, last time I spoke to you, I don't even think my wife was pregnant.
Just ease yourself, Anson. Just ease yourself, Anson.
Hold on. You hear me, right? Last time we spoke,
yeah.
I don't even think my wife was pregnant yet, but I had a baby, dog.
You did tell me, dude. You have a little baby girl. You got what you really have issues, you know. Congratulations, anyway, man.
I'm talking to too many people, dog. It's too, yo. Honestly, it's just too many people I've been talking to. I can't even keep my thoughts straight, yo. Especially with the baby, it makes me dumb. Well, you remember the first
I
time you had a
told
kid?
you.
Obviously, did it affect
I
you?
told you this is the greatest accomplishments you'll ever have, dude. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate that, yo. I had a guest on before you, yo.
Oh, good for you, man. What guest did you have on?
I had
Good for
Ben.
you.
I had Ben on. I had Ben on. Ben was on.
That is awesome. No, but it is. I mean, I like. Listen, I mean, he's got a
Look it.
he's
I'll
certainly got a platform and he's got an opinion.
I'll
He
just say
was.
this.
No, it's not a big deal, dude. You know, listen,
I'm just say
you
this.
know, and I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater by any stretch of the imagination to anybody, anywhere.
I want to say
You
this.
don't do that. See, I'm called. See, it says the champ there, man.
I seen that. Now I think about it. Now I think now it kind of makes sense why you put that there. So I got you. But look it.
It makes sense why I put it there.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. 100%. So I remember we spoke about this. You may not remember this, but I was like, yo, man, I'd love to get y'all in the same room one day. Just, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up, yo. Like, I read your book. We're going to talk about that in a second. I read your book. Undisputed.
Right.
I was just talking about it, actually. I was saying how I think it's cool that it was your voice in the audiobook, and it's like you're talking to us. A lot of people don't do that. They get a generic reader. How long did it take you to read all that? Anyways.
Oh, man, like 20 hours, maybe?
20 hours? Over what period of time?
Oh, over a period of like days, yeah.
What, like
Dude, listen. Yeah, of course, in a week. Yeah. No,
that's
like
fast,
it was
bro.
actually longer than a week because I was booking like 4 hours studio time when I had time.
Right. That's tight. No, I think
No,
it's
but
cool
the thing is, I mean, as you know this, listen, one of the things for me is it was just a challenge. I mean, it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, man. But you know, it's good.
No, I rate you. I rate you for that. So I was saying how you had a book that came out, Ben had a book that came out, and Andre had a book that came out. Ben doesn't have the audiobook, but Andre had some generic guy reading the book. So it's kind of weird. Like, I'm hearing this random voice. It was definitely, I told him, you know, I said, look, Doc, you might as well do the read because it's going to be weird. And you ended up doing it. And I was like, this is how it's supposed to be if you do an audiobook. You should read your own book. If it's about you, it's coming from you, you should read your own book. So that's definitely a plus for your books. If you guys haven't heard of or seen the book Undisputed, Donovan Bailey, we'll bring that back up in a second. So obviously, a couple of days, 100's coming up.
Ladies are tomorrow. Yeah. Couple of 2 days, 2 days. Yeah.
Ladies are tomorrow. The landscape changed now that Sharika's not in there. Did that change your women's picks at all?
For sure, man. I think a healthy, well, for sure. I mean, I want to see in the women's one, I want to see a healthy Shelly Ann, certainly. And I definitely want to see a healthy Sharika because, I mean, I think that I've said this more than once on most platforms, on many platforms, actually, that I think that Sharika thought she won the race last year. And that's why she took her foot off the pedal. I mean, she thought, she didn't think that Sha'Carri had won. And the fact is, I mean, you know, much respect to Sha'Carri because, you know, running a perfectly technically sound race from out in the island, from out in lane 8, dude. That's fantastic to do. So I wanted to see her being healthy and in prime and top condition, with a healthy Sharika in prime and top healthy condition, as well as, I mean, we're throwing some people in the mix this year, but I want to see, I just want to see like the healthy ladies going at each other, especially in their prime. So yeah, it does change. I mean, obviously, I'd expect it. Listen, Sha'Carri is the you know, odds-on favorite to win the women's 100 meters. But you know what? I mean, Julian Alford is going to have some things to say about that. Shelly Ann is not going to just lay down like that. I think Tia Clayton is going to do some. I think that she's about to come to age. You know, coming from the camp in JA, man, they're going to be okay. You know, so that's just, you know, that's what I'm saying now.
So you have a particular order. You just have those names are in the mix, or do you have an order of 3 medalists that you can see?
Well, I mean, obviously, if I'm gonna put money on it now, I mean, I know what my sentimental favorites would be, but Sha'Carri's obviously been, consistent, and from the U.S. trials leading up, she's been pretty good. Sharika's out, right? I think Shelly's gonna make it to the podium, but there's several other people. I mean, I think Julian Alfred is destined to do some great stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so in other words, you're not going to give us an order. That's okay.
I ain't gonna give you no order, man. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna give it.
It's fine. I gotta pay for that. That's good. So look at
Yeah.
2021. I was gonna say we were talking about how good the race could have been if all of them were running. We got robbed of not seeing that race in 2021 with Sha'Carri.
Right.
Because Sha'Carri's put out. That would have been easily one of the greatest men's or women's side, one of the greatest lineups in history for all in one. You got Elaine running 10.5, Sha'Carri, who she gonna touch a 10.5 that year. We don't know, 10.6. Sharika was coming into her own, and then Shelly was she's still in prime shape. Shelly, like so we got robbed of that. But as far as the 2021 Olympics, I've been heard saying plenty of times that I don't really consider it to be like a real Olympics. Like
you can't say that, dude. Though you can't say that.
So let's talk about
that.
I want to know your thoughts on that.
Huh?
I want to know your thoughts on that, and I want to ask you a few questions as far as that concerned. But go on.
No. I just think that. I mean, listen. I think we're all entitled to our own opinion, but I'm just saying to you, as it's as an Olympic champion. At one point, you can't really disrespect like the movement or the event itself, because all of the athletes that were competing had to deal with the exact same environment. Huh?
I disagree.
Well, that's okay. I'm telling you, as the Olympic champion, I'm telling you that everyone has to deal with the same environment. Correct. Which makes us having dialogue good.
Before you go on, I don't want this to sound like I'm disrespecting you. I'm not
No, I
saying
know
that
you're not.
you weren't the Olympic champion. So us disagreeing has nothing to do with you being the Olympic champion.
I know that. I know that.
We're talking about the same landscape. During COVID, a lot of people didn't have the same training circumstances. That's what I'm talking about. So going into a championships like the Olympics, when you're building 4 years into a quadrennial, this. Think about all the planning and precision you put into that one night.
Right.
Think about it.
But I'm saying to you,
what I'm trying to say is, I'm backing your Olympics. To me, that's look it. Everyone is primed for that moment every 4 years that night.
Right.
The stakes are way higher. The fans are there. The pressure's there. The lights are on. You got the media afterwards. You got to, the pressure of trying to avoid shit in the village. There's Barry Galvin around. You try to avoid trouble. Well, you're in the village. You were in a villa. It was for me. I feel like your road was much more challenging. What you did to me seemed like
I think so.
A real thing. Like, come on.
But Anson, I'm trying to say that you're probably correct on. I'm saying to you that you're correct on that side. But I'm saying to you that if you had the environment in 2021, if you had a whole slew of athletes and they're in their prime, and every all the training is measured, and everybody has to deal with the exact same thing. I'm saying to you that the physical preparation was probably limited. The psychological preparation going into Tokyo would have been probably the hardest thing. And to me, the person that would probably most prepared psychologically was the one that got in there. Like, at the end of the day, when you're the champion, you're a killer. You're an MF killer, dude. That's what it is. And I'm saying so I'm saying it was like maybe we're saying the same thing. The physical preparation for me or for any of the other champions before me or after me, without the pandemic, was probably the same, and because we had all the lead ups. But I'm saying to you that the physical preparation for the pandemic Olympics was limited to most people. So everyone was equal when they stepped on the track, and it was quiet and it was all of those things.
Gotcha. Okay. I was actually trying to give you more credit. You won't let me give you your credit, dog. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude, I'm not gonna not take credit.
You're a humble guy.
No.
You're a humble guy tonight. You're a humble guy tonight.
I'm a killer. I'm a killer, man. You know that.
I'm just saying, like, I look at what you did, yo. I know you're a killer because of what you did.
Right. Right.
You under the lights, under the circumstances, and under the heat, but even all the false. Okay, can you imagine 3 false starts? You dealt with 3 false starts and the
Right.
disqualification. Imagine that happened in the bubble. Is that going to be a big deal? Is the moment gonna escalate the more that goes on? Think about that for you. That would have been a walk in the park for you. Now think about under the lights in Atlanta, the heat, and the moment. All the cameras are out there. Bare people, you can hear people in the stands talking like, "Yo."
But here's the thing, though. I didn't. But the problem is that what you're trying to do is you're probably trying to think or suggest about how I felt inside. I didn't really care, dude. I mean, like I walked into Atlanta, and if we were and believe me, if we were on the practice track, I was gonna murder them guys, no matter what, right? So I'm just saying about how I felt. I'm just talking about how I felt, right? I'm just telling you because I'm saying to you that what I'm saying to you is that. What I'm saying to you that I could sit here. I mean, obviously you know me well, and you know Dan, you know a couple of my training partners. Every single race, every single thing I did from indoors in 1990, from the fall of 1995, indoor 1996, everything led to that. I didn't care about winning. I didn't care about winning on the circuit. I went and ran indoors just to get my rhythm and figure out all the indoor guys, if I could just snatch them before they got to 20 or 30 meters. That was it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to crush you in your event in the indoor, and then I'm going to go back home. I'm going to get ready for outdoors. So, I mean, I was just toying with people. I was toying with people the whole time, man. And ultimately, I kind of see that in our boy from Jamaica right now, but it is what it is, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's all. Anyways, either way, there's no chance. The preparation that I had, it didn't matter to me because the only thing Dan and I kept talking about one thing, and the one thing was the finals in Atlanta. Didn't matter. And then after that, I can go get my bag. That's it.
It's a big bag. Was it a big bag? Big bag.
It's not bad.
Hey,
not bad.
I'm curious. What was the party like at '96, the night after you won the Olympics? What happened that night, yo?
Anson, you know me, man.
Listen, man, I need some people to start talking about the life, man. Like we
nobody.
I'm
good, man. I'm good.
First of all, crazy.
First of all, I think that
you didn't have.
Here's what I did actually. Immediately after the media stuff and drug testing, of course, I actually my buddies from Oakville, or from Canada anyways, had rented out a restaurant supper club in Atlanta, and I went there. I went there with my dad, my uncle, all of my buddies, smoked a cigar, didn't drink anything, probably was there for about an hour, and then went home. That was it. I had the relays, dude, and again, I was in Atlanta to get 2 goals, so nothing was going to stop me from that. I mean, there's some other things, but there's some other things. Anson, there's always other things, man. But different platform.
No, we'd love to hear about the other things. We'd love to.
Boss, cool. We're good.
So
We're good.
After the relay,
we're good.
After the relay was the party. After the relay was the real party, is what you're saying.
I wanted the real party happen every day for the rest of my life, but I mean, it was great. And before that, listen, the real. I've never not been known to, even when I was on the circuit, to go to a place and not enjoy. I mean, I'm a foodie. I've been a foodie from then, and so in any place I went to, especially on the circuit, I would be at the Michelin star restaurant. That's where I wouldn't want to eat in the cafe or whatever the food was. I mean, that was just me as a person. Again, I don't slight anyone else. I mean, but I like that. The party after the relay was pretty good.
It was good, right? Atlanta too. Like, come on, dog. Olympic 2 gold medals, dog. This was all over NBC. Come on, yo.
World record. Man. It's all good, man.
I got it. World record. Come on, dog. Come on.
Yes. Yo, I went to Atlanta and made it. I went to Atlanta and made it my house. Yeah, it's good. I actually.
Okay. No. What? No. What were you gonna say? Go ahead, please.
I just made it my house, dude. Atlanta was my house.
Okay. Okay, cool.
It is what it is.
Hey, just so I don't forget, I was going to ask you. You said you'd be able to kill those guys on a practice track, and obviously you were saying that Marcel went in a bubble, and you're saying a killer's a killer. Do you feel like Marcel Jacobs is a killer?
Oh man, why are you going there? So here's the thing. I believe that
You've
Marcel
watched my
Jacobs.
content before, right?
No,
You
but
watched my content before.
I don't care. It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter. My opinion. My opinion is not going to change. My opinion is not going to change.
Please share it. We'd love to hear your opinion, though, your real opinion. So
I think that based upon the circumstance in the bubble, Marcel was a killer, but I think he was very naive. Maybe he didn't believe that he was going to run that fast, so he just came out and executed, and no one got in his head, right? Because obviously he ran 980, which means that he didn't win the Olympics running 1080, right? So he has the physical tools to run fast. Now, what has happened since then? Maybe he's on too much social media. Maybe he's listening to too many people. Maybe, again, this is not the long jump. So you run the 100. So as soon as you win the 100, somebody's going to show up and start chirping. And what he did was he parked his weapon. He parked his killer instinct weapon and started listening to people, because I think that Marcel is the one that's gotten it his own way over the years. And that's why I think obviously he's gotten some physical injuries, but I think most of it has been mental, dude. Most of it has been like, because I'm looking at this guy, I'm going, why is he running so stiff? Why? Like, it's kind of like, here's the thing, Anson. I mean, again, I play balls and you play ball too. So it's kind of like, I'm 6'2", and there's a guy, I'm guarding a guy 5'8", on the block, and I'm bringing the ball down as opposed to just dominating him. And so to me, he's a big, strong guy, and he's bringing the ball down to people who he should be dominating, and he's not. I mean, and ultimately, do I think he's capable? Yes, physically. But if he has to get out of his way mentally for him to repeat.
Okay.
Just saying.
So is it fair? Is it no? This is definitely very, very good assessment. Do you? So you don't have him on your podium this year?
I do not. I do not have him on the podium, no. But you'll be surprised at my podium picks. Anyways, I do not have him on my podium because there's a couple of killers. There's a couple of current killers, like straight up killers. And so he's got a lot to deal with this year. I'm talking about coming back, from like a mental block, where he should be the killer. And he's allowed people to get in this space.
All right, let's talk about it, yo. Well, no, Orly, we already spoke about the females. You missed that, so we're gonna get into the men's right now.
Right.
Someone's asking about your female picks. We spoke about them already. Okay, so let's talk about your 100-meter podium for the men. 2024 Olympics, Paris, Olympic champion, 1996, Donovan Bailey. Gives us his thoughts and his take. I'm gonna go way out there. I'm not gonna go way out there. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the guys, the players, right? So we've got the three Americans who are absolute players, right? All three of them. You feel like
I'm talking about guys who should make the final. So let's just go with that. Because I mean, what I'm going to do is let me break it down. Well, actually, there's more people. There's more people than in the finals that I'm going to talk about. But we can separate them quickly.
It's deep, man. It's deep.
Huh?
Yeah. It's deep.
So
man.
you got the three Americans. You got the three Americans. That you got three guys running 9.8, right? You got three Jamaicans, running the slowest guy running 9.90. Well, I mean, Akeem Blake ran 9.89. Is it 89 or 86? Whatever. Right. I mean, he's ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you've got, Amanyala. You've got who usually runs fast.
Altitude.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, it's altitude. But the thing is, what I've liked about what he's done this year, I'm very happy that his management team or coaching staff or whatever it is switched his training, because my guy used to open up hella fight fast, and then when the real stuff come around, he doesn't make it. So Amanyala, is going to be a player. Sambini is someone who's a vet. Sambini is a vet and been consistent this year and is unafraid and is being very quiet. My guy, though, that might upset the apple cart. Is Tobago. Tobago is a killer, dude. Tobago is a killer. Okay. Yeah.
I really like him.
Zarnell Hughes. So yeah, let's kind of break down. So okay, Zarnell Hughes, I think if healthy, he will do some things. I also believe that this is a year that if Andre quietly gets in, just because no one expects anything from him, he might be a dark horse. Just if he gets in, like if he gets in, man. Yeah, because Andre is not gonna. I mean, Andre might not have the twin turbos, but he ain't gonna back down from nobody. So I think so. So if he gets in there, he's not gonna make a mistake. He's not gonna make a mistake. He's gonna get whatever that body, that 145 pounds, gonna give him. He's gonna take every part of it. But I tell you, man. So the question is, who do I think is gonna win?
No, top three. Top three. So win, obviously, yeah, but top three.
Okay.
It's tough.
I don't think that Obliques. Okay, I do not. Okay, Oblique Seville has gotten the wooden medal for the past 2 Olympics or past 2 championships. What's fourth place for all you that don't know that? Fourth place, man.
That's the wooden medal.
That's a wooden medal. No. And I'm saying to you, I like. No, but I really like Oblique. I really like Oblique, so I have Oblique coming second.
Okay. I like Oblique. Okay. Wooden medal is mad, yo. I never heard that before. Okay.
No, but I'm just saying. Dude, it's the worst. But it's the worst place to come. You know this. It's the worst place to come in any competition. It's fourth place. Right.
It's tough. Yeah.
Man. Depending on the first, this is going to depend on the first 40 meters. Whether the bronze goes to Noah Lyles or Tobago.
They're going to battle it out for bronze.
Yes.
Okay. So that leaves your gold medalist.
One killer, man. I mean, it's like, you'll see signs. You'll see signs of things. I mean, Kashin just has to get through the rounds. That's all.
See, okay, but that's okay.
I'm telling you that Kashin has to get. No. I'm saying to you that he has to get through the rounds, monitor obviously what he does, and I think that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing at the trials. That's what his coach was doing at the trials. Was just saying, hey, listen, understand how to run this. If you're out ahead, manage your race. Don't overstride. Don't overthink it. Just do what you have to do. I'm saying to you that when I look at the winner of the 100 meters, I always try to think about a guy who is an anchor on a relay team that can get the baton in fourth place and just murder everybody. Right? I mean, you've got so in this like all of these guys that I'm thinking about. I mean, like I mean, again, I think about this in my time racing. I know that I could get the stick and no one's gonna finish in front of me. So I also knew that in the middle of the 100 meters, I could shift. And there's not a lot of people that can shift, right? Noah Lyles can't shift, right? I mean, there's a lot of these guys actually in this race that can't shift. In fact, the only two people that can shift in this race right now, that as we're speaking, is Kishane and Tobago. That is it. The two guys that can just be like there and they're in first, and then they go from first, I mean, and first to third, and then overdrive. I mean, you can see that someone can like just shift and pass someone in one stride, right? and so that's why I have Kishane. I mean, listen. First of all, I think that I personally think that Tobago can win the 100 too, dude. I think the Deuce is going to be fantastic. I mean, with Bednarik, Bednarik, Tobago, and Noah Lyles and Andre. Oh man, man.
Two's gonna be crazy.
Yes.
I didn't feel. I feel like if you're going to beat Noah and the Deuce, you can't be running the 100 as well. But that's another discussion we can talk about in a second. But I wanted to ask you about, as far as Kishane in rounds, right? Since we haven't seen it before,
Right.
is it a factor that we haven't seen him in a championship setting, let alone the Olympics, coming in with such high expectations? Because everyone's on Kishane right now. Everybody, not only Jamaica,
Which is okay.
Who knows? And Jamaica, it's on another level. They're like, this guy got the gold already, but the world is catching on to Kishane. This is new for him. 22 years old, going through the rounds in the deepest, arguably the deepest 100 meters ever in history. Is that going to be a factor?
He's a killer, dude. He's a killer. He runs at the National Stadium in Jamaica. If you run at the National Stadium in Jamaica, you deal with Jamaica Twitter, you deal with Jamaica track fans. You've got way more pressure on you competing there than you are at the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games, you're insulated. Listen. And I'm very certain. And what I always got to think about is in the structure in which these guys are. Glenn Mills and Stephen Francis they have created a fantastic cocoon for their athletes. And they've always prepared their athletes for the big show.
All right, man. That's some good picks, solid picks. So Kishane, second place you have Akani. Third place you have.
No, I didn't. I said Oblique Seville, man, but that's okay.
Oblique. No, Oblique. I'm tripping.
I'm sure I'm going to change my pick for. I'm sure for another network plus what I got to do.
You got 1 day left.
I'll probably change it.
Kishane, Oblique, and you got 1 day left. Kishane, Oblique, and then the battle.
Dude, I'm going to be talking about 50 different news outlets.
I know about that.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned,
I know
this is the only conversation. As far as I'm
cool.
concerned, this is the only conversation. So, respect for joining. Let's catch up afterwards. Get some responses. I'm gonna get some obviously the big names. I want to hear from some of y'all after the championships because I love hearing you guys talk. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing you guys talk.
There's two killers, man.
Before we go,
there's two killers and one of them is a yard man. So I have to go with that.
Forgot the yard man. Okay. All right, cool. So I just wanted to say, you said people think your picks were crazy. People thought my picks were wild, but I
What's
always
your
go
pick?
with the home team, and I always see.
What's your pick?
Back to like the 80s. Hear me out, Doc. All the way back to the 80s. Okay. I like going with people who've proven themselves at championships before. That's why I went with you. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you're from Canada. Right. So there's no way any championships. If there's a Canadian in there, yeah, trust me. If there's a Canadian there, I got to go with them. No matter what, they're winning. I'm saying that. So I'm putting Andre first. This is just how it is, right?
You're putting Andre to win.
I'm putting Andre to win. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be a surprise for a lot of people. But he's extremely capable. Absolutely. Because I did say if he gets through the rounds, he's good, man. Absolutely.
Think about how you came into Atlanta. Did anyone think you were going to win? You're defending world champion, though. But I'm just saying. Did anyone feel like?
What do you mean? Who didn't think I was going to win?
Well, I thought you were going to win, but it's because you're Canadian. But in general, people were talking about Frankie. People were talking about, people thought Addo was looking good. Like people, you said you were injured. I'm sure that was chess move. But I'm just saying, like,
no, it wasn't. No. Absolutely, no, Anson. Absolutely was not. I mean, yes, there's video evidence of that. No, absolutely was not. No. Okay, couple of things. For anyone who actually thought that Frankie was capable of beating me in Atlanta, please check out my Lausanne race that year, which is a month before, when Frankie ran 986, and I pulled up 87, whatever, and I pulled up, looked at him, and then took my foot off the gas and started laughing when Dan came across and started talking to me, because Dan said, "Do you want to break the world record here, or do you want to do it in Atlanta?" I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, like, yes. So that was a chess move for me, absolutely. right? I mean, but I didn't. I'm like, why am I gonna drop a world record in Lausanne, Switzerland to get my
Right.
contract bonus? Nah, not everyone's watching. I mean, again,
Right.
Ansley, if you talk to Dan, Dan thought I was gonna run 60 between 61 and 64 in Atlanta. That's his thing, not me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about what I was doing in
Right.
practice. Also, the injury that you're talking about was in Nice 3 weeks before the Olympics. Linford just got out on me, and I overstrided, and I had a 7 centimeter tear in my adductor. So that's facts, dude.
Right.
No, that's
And
okay.
this is
Doesn't
all in the
matter.
book, by the way, everyone. This is
Right,
all in the book,
right,
by the way, everybody.
right.
But I'm talking about from the standpoint of you weren't necessarily that impressive on the circuit leading into championships. You said
Right.
this yourself. Like you don't really care. But when
And
championships,
that's
when it's time, you're ready. So
right. And
I think
Anson, that's
something.
why I'm making a lot of the picks from. That's why I'm making my picks now. Right. I mean, you're going to tell me who else that you've chosen other than Andre, but I'm saying to you, that's why, I've picked the guys I've picked because they haven't been on the circuit. They're not chirping. They're not doing a whole lot of things, but they're just preparing. Right. So that's what I'm saying, because maybe I'm thinking they're like me. Anyways, other than
Okay.
Andre, who else do you got?
I have Marcel. Now I know what I said
That's a
about
good
his
pick.
Olympics, but I think he has a lot to prove because a lot
That's a
of people
good
have
pick.
that. A lot of people have that sentiment that the last Olympics he didn't really. It was a COVID Olympics, yada yada yada. He's got his country behind him now. He's got the season has been going well for him, smooth. He touched 9 seconds a couple times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like he's building into the championships well. And
Anson, he's
I
in
think
Europe,
he's gonna,
dude. Anson, he's in
He's in
Europe.
Europe.
Correct. You're in Europe. He's in Europe. 100%, dude. 100%. The guy's very well liked. Good looking kid. Absolutely, man. So if he has
He's
killer,
a star.
he's gonna pull it out, dude. If he's got the
Right.
guns ablazing, he's gonna have to pull it out here, man. And so again,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you with Andre. And I agree with you picking him. I agree with you picking Marcel also. Who's number 3?
And number 3, I had Fred Curly.
Oh, Fred. Well, Fred.
Because he's got them Nikes back, and he's rounding into shape. Seems like he's I feel like when you get some reps with the Nikes, it gets even better. He was an A6 early in the year. I think he's gonna find his feet. You know what I'm saying?
Has Fred competed since trials?
Nah, he hasn't.
Ooh,
Head down.
good pick.
Pause.
Good pick. Good pick.
So yeah, that's what I got. What do you think? How do you think you would have ran in some super shoes?
Dude. Okay, so let me tell you this. I just filmed something that I'm going to do it for CBC or whatever. But we just filmed, and what I did was I took out the shoe, the similar shoe to my Olympic spikes. The other shoe that I ran the 150, and I put the super shoe beside it. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. So here's what I am with the arch with the actual shoe itself. I go from the point, I go from the toe of the shoe to the heel, and here's what I'm doing. Right? Here's what I'm doing, because basically my shoe was plastic. My shoe was plastic, a small thin piece of plastic, with some nails in it. Really. And I'm looking at, and I also have a pair. So I have a pair of the super spike that obviously I'm in no shape to go and sprint, but I'm in decent shape. And so I want to know. I'm just saying about feeling. This has nothing to do with going to go try and run whatever. But I'm saying about feeling. Man, this is incredible. I'm just talking about the fact is that most of the guys in my era were running bare feet, technically with nails on your feet, compared to what you have right now with a carbon fiber and cushion and comfort. And you can and for those of us who can, like, if you can jump, if you can do whatever, or you got great springs, when you're coming out of the blocks and you've got incredible dry face, this thing is bounding you forward, man. So how do I think I'd have done? Again, Anson, ask Dan Paff that. That's the guy. Ask Dan Paff that, man. Ask Dan Paff that. Ask Dan Paff that, dude. He goes, ask Dan, like when we're doing, like, again, when we're doing like when we're bounding and jumping boxes and doing all that stuff and vertical leaps. And I'm thinking about if I was doing that in that, and then you get help. Oh man, yeah.
It's really
Yeah. Well, I mean,
crazy.
I would
It's
have
really
left.
crazy.
I would have certainly left the 9. I would have left. I would have probably left the 9.6 on the board for Usain to come and get, and he would have put it farther. Because if he had the super shoes, he would have put that farther. He would have been 9.3, 9.4, whatever. He'd have done stupid things.
Right. Right. Well, actually, that's another thing. I feel like Fred was honest about the shoes. Like, look, I run better in these, so I'm going to run in these.
Right.
Man left millions of dollars on the table with Asics, getting rid of that deal. Like, look, it's not going to matter if I win I need to win the Olympics, and I'm good. So keep them millions, and I'll get it somewhere else. Give me the shoes.
You know what? Betting on yourself is not bad though.
It's not. I feel like Marcel should
that-
have been more honest about that too.
So was that okay? Sorry, who was Marcel with?
Marcel, when he won the Olympics, was with Nike.
And then he signed with.
Now he's with Puma.
The shoe wars, dude.
Now I don't know what kind of shoe they created for him. I don't know what kind of shoe they created for him now. Maybe they got something for him. All I know is, in them Nikes, mentioned, he was a different man. He was a different man, yo. He had a shift in the middle of the race. He's getting out of the blocks well. He was maintaining.
Are you talking about Marcel or Fred?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Well, Fred, yeah, as well, but both of them. Like Marcel is not in them shoes no more, though, so I can see a difference. I see the difference. Fred was like, "Give me the shoes back, yo. I'm not fucking around.
Right.
Oh, give me the shoes back." Marcel, I don't know. Maybe they made something for him. We'll see.
You know what? Also, Anson. I mean, the shoe definitely is helping, but I think that psychologically, when there's absolutely no room for mistakes, man. I mean, Fred betting on himself. Hey, man, why not? Because at the end of the day, if he goes in and does what he says he's gonna do, or what he thinks he's gonna do, then he can point at everybody and go, "See, I told you. Wow, I'm right."
Exactly. Nike Foot Fred. Remember, that's the hashtag. Nike Foot Fred. You can mention that on your show. Actually,
did you do that?
Podcast. Nike
Donovan
Foot
Bailey
Fred,
running things. Donovan Bailey running things. Yes, that's my podcast. Subscribe. I'm gonna. Well, we're off. We're on a 2-week hiatus though because I'm on CBC for the next 2 weeks. So we'll be back on right after.
CBC for the Olympic final. Right, you'll be at CBC for the Olympic final.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'll be at CBC starting tomorrow.
Oh, for everything. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So that's really good. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because the Olympics is officially starting. The Olympics officially starts. Yes, I said it to all the other Olympic sport people. The Olympics officially start tomorrow. Tomorrow. That's when everybody in the world gathers around their TV. Everybody in the world, not just in your community or your family.
Say it louder. Make sure you say that when you get on air too. The world.
Oh, I always do. I always do, man.
Yeah,
I always do, and the swimmers and the rowers and the other people always get upset. I'm like, really? We have 80,000, 100,000 people watching us, and billions by the television. Compare that.
You can't. Let's be real. Like track and field athletes act like they need the Olympics. The Olympics needs track and field.
Well, let's not talk about the business model. I mean, as you know, there's not a whole lot of people that actually spend their time looking at the business model of track and field and how it could be improved. As a business person, I kind of see how it is. I know. Obviously, that's an hour-long talk. There's many ways in which it could be improved. In many ways that the top 10 track and field athlete in each event, the poorest one should be worth $10 million. I'm just talking about the revenue it makes around the world. But people uniting, people selling out other people. There's just a ton of things that needs to change, and the infrastructure that IOC and IAF has right now, nothing's about to change in the next probably my lifetime.
Probably not. No. Would you like to start an organization, track and field organization, if you could?
What do you mean?
Like similar to what like Michael's doing. Like Michael's got
No, listen.
a
No, listen, man. Let me tell you this. Let me be straight up with you. I think what Michael's doing is fantastic, right? I mean, I do. And frankly, at this point, I mean, Michael and I should be doing it together. And I'm saying that
that'd be a great idea.
because I'm saying this because a lot of times people look at the 150 and they talk about the beatings and they talk about what I said after or whatever. But I think that most people don't understand the business side of it. I controlled, I planned, we knew everything. We knew how much money was coming in. We understood the revenue, pay-per-view. We understood everything. So basically, we were our own promoters. We also paid ourselves the most money that any track athlete has ever paid in the history of track and field to this day and beyond. Because, I mean, I don't believe that the IAAF, the IAF or the COC is going to allow that anymore. So I'm saying to you that, if we send an invite, we send an invite out to Matt to go, okay, man, let's settle this on the track. How much do you want? Just put a number down. And it's like, whatever the number was, no, I said, no. We're going to give you more than that. Here's $500,000 USD for one race just to show up. I'm saying to you that I think people should look at the 150 as, one of one, an anomaly, but also because I'm very much healthy and alive and functioning and very part of the business world. And Michael's the same way. I mean, this is the best way to kind of move things forward where you can literally own an organization, maybe something like the UFC or like I'm talking about comparatively, where you're having 3, 4, 5 events around the globe where you have the top stars making real money. I want the top track and field people to make golf money or tennis money. That's what I want to see the kids make.
Right. Which is fair. That should be how it is.
Right.
Right. So ideally, if you would look favorably on working with him as far as something like this is concerned.
I'm saying to you that I wouldn't like. I'm saying to you that for every single track buff, every single track athlete, anybody that's ever owns a smartphone that can Google something, understand what the business of the event that we did was, and the undertaking that I was very much 100% a part of, because it was me and my team that put everything together in Toronto, right? Also, they have also got to understand that there were supposed to be 4 150 races that year, and Michael was supposed to be in all 4 of them. So Michael and I were supposed to be one-on-one in Toronto, one-on-one in Vegas, the 150 at Crystal Palace in London, which we ran. Linford, again, amazing. And then we're supposed to finish off in Tokyo that year. So I'm saying to you that, like I'm saying that all of this business model existed in 1997 already. So it wouldn't be a stretch to do this. The best, the most famous, most talented track athletes. Like imagine, Femke Bol and Sydney in the 300. Like something, whatever. Just like something that is, it's whatever. Like get the top athletes, pay them the way more money than they make now, and they can just go off.
Right. I think the numbers that they're going to get is what turns heads. Like when people hear that people are winning a lot of money or making a lot of money, it makes them want to watch, So
right.
The prize money is an investment in that way. You make sure they're getting paid and people can be like, I got to watch this shit. They're making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to watch this shit.
But answer. Think about this also. Think about this also. I mean, I have a couple of relationships with a couple of these betting platforms. These guys just throw tens of millions of dollars around for nothing. Like it just, right. So they not only will give you cash to supplement the business itself, but they're going to put it out to the audience. I mean, there's a huge sporting audience of betting. I mean, so there's that, and then of course we know that the shoe companies of the world and the Coca-Cola versus the Pepsis, like all of these things matter, man. Rivalries or perceived rivalries are incredible, to make money. So yes, I mean, like I don't really fully understand the business model of what Michael's doing. I mean, I'll talk to my agent and I'll get, like, like fully abreast of that. But yeah, man, we've done this before. The business model is done, and yeah, absolutely, I feel that every single track and field athlete should be making golf or tennis money.
We'll see if you can get a hold of him, man. Maybe you shouldn't have called him a chicken. Maybe you should have thought ahead. Donovan.
I've never had to validate anything, my man. I was a killer then, and I'm a killer now.
Yeah, I had to sit down. I actually went to LA and had to sit down with him, and he spoke about some of the stuff you just spoke about as far as so that'll come out after the games. Let the games pass, let things calm down. We get some other track and field content out. So that time I sit down with you, I've been with you like who knows how many times, and shoot, like, what's up, man?
Dude, I'm here, man. I'm here. This is the calm before the storm. I'm chilling in the backyard. You interrupted my cigar and cognac, but it is what it is.
My bad. Respect for joining, yo. Big up to one named Donovan Bailey. Every day, all day. Let's circle back. Let's circle back after the games. Enjoy the games. Let's circle back after the games, yeah?
Cool. All right. We'll chat. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks. So yeah, some good insight as far as that 100 that's coming up. Going to be very interesting. Very interesting. I find that when I talk to some of the old school sprinters, their picks are totally different, man. They're totally different. A lot of the people I'm talking to now, like in this modern era, maybe it's because they're like so glued to social media. You're always hearing Keishane and Noah. They're two of everyone's picks. Keishane and Noah. And it might very well be them two. You know what I'm saying? But it usually doesn't work out like that. The two favorites, unless they've separated themselves, like a Ben and Carl situation, but the two favorites haven't really separated themselves. They're kind of in the mix. They're favorites, but they're kind of in the mix. There's a lot of people in the mix. To just assume that they're going to be there, to me, that it's too obvious for it to happen. I think it's too obvious. E. Diamond said, Ben Johnson done Nesta Carter winning. You're an asshole for that, yo. You're an asshole for that. Hey, anyways, yeah, they had some good insight as far as the picks and just general talk. I'm trying to have them on more often. I got a bunch of former sprinters coming on moving forward, yo. So that was cool. That's good enough for tonight, yo. Check this out. The games is upon us. Women start the 100 tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. The men start. So women are going to be Friday, Saturday. The men are going to be Saturday, Sunday. So, yo, it's going to be a big games, man. A lot of people have been, like I said earlier, a lot of people have been talking to me about the doc. I should have asked Donovan if he saw the doc. I know Ben didn't see the doc, but a lot of people are talking to me about it. A lot of people have track and field on their minds. You know, it's just part of conversation. So going into Olympics, but I don't know. It's been a while since track and field has been a part of the conversation before a games, leading into a games. This Olympics is going to be something special, man. So, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to be on again. I just had a ute, yo. So the fact that I got on for now was cool. This live is going to be on YouTube for y'all to watch back later. If you missed the beginning part, you can go back and check that out. And maybe I'll get on during the championships, and maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, like, share. And yeah, man, keep an eye out for more content that's going to be coming out during the championships on the Track and Field Network, as well as on my Instagram. You got to be following the Track and Field Network, man. The numbers on the Track and Field Network have been going really well, man. Respect for all the support with that, yo. Like, I'm putting a lot of focus into the Instagram platform, and I like the direction it's going. I'm going to start looking at some other things. I've been in some discussion with some people talking to me about ways to grow on YouTube, and I really put that much time into that. And TikTok, we'll get into that, and I'm just making sure the message is right down at the root. Building up a team. I got a good staff right now. We're getting a good rhythm, so we're just gonna build out, man. So if you want to go back and watch this live, it's gonna be on YouTube after I get off of this. And yeah, man, like, share, subscribe, tell people about the Track and Field Network, and tell people about my doc. You might have heard about my doc. It's called Sprint. I mean, I only had about 30 seconds in it, but it's my doc. It's my doc. Big up all the sprint culture vultures. I know, man. Enjoy the games. See you when I see you. Peace.
We talking sprint culture, we talking track and field. When the gunshot lick it, give a man the chills. We talking speed demons like Usain. The red track where a legend really makes their name. The US and Jamaica, they run the sprinting game. There's nothing like the Olympics for your claim to fame. When you break the world record, you show you ain't the same. From the men to the women, times are insane. Yeah, we talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture.